All right, let's dive into Copper's training so that way we can stay consistent at home. Whenever he's doing things that we want to keep seeing, such as following our commands, we want to make sure we reinforce and reward that behavior with either praise, petting, or treats. And then whenever he's doing things that we don't want to see, such as not listening to our commands or jumping up on us, we want to follow through with our training equipment to discourage that behavior. So let's dive into his training equipment. This is his prong collar. He's going to wear this whenever he is on a leash. How we take this on and off is you're just going to secure one of the links and push through like so. Sometimes it's a little difficult to grab them because they're small. And then to put it back together, we're just going to pinch and put through the holes of the other link. Whenever he has this on, the leash is going to attach to the D-ring that swivels. So say he's in the heel position. Heel just means walk next to me on a nice loose leash. Say he's starting to pull ahead or he's doing something that we don't want to see. We're going to say no to verbally mark the incorrect behavior, give him a pop, and then remind him heel. So no, pop, heel. So it's going to be a pop and release motion rather than a pull and hold. And then whenever he gets back into the heel position, we can give him that praise, petting, and treats to let him know that he's doing a good job. Now let's go over his e-collar, how we turn this on and off. There's a red dot on the collar and a red dot on the remote. We're just going to touch these together. The green light flashing means it's on, charged, and ready to go. How we turn on the remote, on and off button on the back. We're just going to push and hold until the screen lights up. You're going to see level 25 appear on the screen. This is Copper's level. And then today we're going to focus on the black S button. S just stands for stimulation, so it's kind of like an electric muscle stimulator. So say he's in that heel position and he's not really where we want him. We're going to say no to verbally mark the incorrect behavior. Black S button, heel. No, button, heel. And then whenever he gets back into the heel position, we want to give him that praise, petting, and treats to let him know he's doing a good job. With these, it depends on the level of distraction that we have. We may use both of them, we may use one of them. It just depends on the situation that we are in. With the e-collar, I want to put this on first thing in the morning, and then it's going to be the last thing that we take off at night. So this way we always have a form of communication with Copper throughout the day. With the prong collar, at the beginning, you may have to have the leash and the prong on in the house just to set the boundaries and kind of have a way to guide him around if he decides to not listen to our commands. Then we can fade away from having the leash and the collar on in the house, and then we can just rely on this in the house. So let's go over his commands. Now that we've kind of gone over the heel just means walk next to me on a nice loose leash. Whenever you take him out on walks, about 80 to 90% of the walk should be in the heel position. The other 10 to 20%, we can give him the release word free. Free just means he's not in any set command and he can kind of go do his own business and walk on his own. Rather than following us, we're going to follow him. This is going to be his time to enjoy the walk. And then we have sit. Sit means stay as implied until he's given a release word free. This is really good for those door manners so he doesn't think that he can just bolt through the doors. So whether we're going out or in, we're going to have him sit at the door. And then whenever we open the door, we're going to remind him sit because opening the door is a big distraction. So we remind him what he is supposed to be doing. If he stays, great. Then we have two options. We can either free him through the door or heal through the door with him. If he decides to get up or he doesn't stay in the sit, we're going to follow through with our training equipment. Then we want to do this until he gets it right. So that way we can set that boundary and he doesn't think that he can just get up. We want to set the same boundary that we have here at the facility that we're going to have at home. So that way he understands where our boundaries are. And then we have down. Down means stay as implied as well. So with the down, we don't want to release him from a distance. We don't want to sit him in a down and then come walk 10 feet and then release him because then he's getting rewarded for coming to us and not staying in that down stay. So if we put him in a down and we do a little bit of distraction or whatever we have to do, we want to go back to him and release him from where he is at. So that way he gets rewarded for staying in that down stay. Whenever we reward this behavior, we want to reward super low to the ground so that way he knows the positive zone is low to the ground and he doesn't try to get up for the treat. Now we have place. Place is a boundary stay, ideally on an elevated bed. This is really good for whenever we have company coming over. So that way he has somewhere to go and experience everything that's going on, but he's not in everybody's way or jumping up on people when they're trying to get through the door and taking off their shoes. So with this, we're going to put him on place. We also don't want to release him from a distance from place because then he's going to think that he's going to start anticipating us walking away and then releasing him, and then he's probably going to be more likely to get up. So whenever we put him on place, we want to make sure we release him from where he is. With place, we want to reward on the bed, so he knows that the positive zone is the bed. As long as all 4 feet stay on the bed, he can sit, roll over, lay down, whatever he wants as long as all 4 feet are on the bed. Whenever he first practices, I suggest having a leash on in the house, so that way if he does get up, we have a way to guide him back to the bed if he makes a mistake. Now we have come when called. With this one, we want to give him the release word free and let him get distracted because likely when we need him to come back to us, it's going to be whenever he's in that distracted state of mind doing his own thing. So we can give him that release word free, have him do his own thing, And then whenever we call him to us, as he's coming to us, we're going to praise him. We're going to say good boy. We're going to get exciting so that way he knows that he's doing a good job. And then whenever he gets to us, we're going to have him sit and then give him the reward. With this one, we want to reward this behavior every single time so that way he gets the positive association with coming to us every single time. So say we ask him to come to us and he doesn't listen to us, we're going to say no, follow through with the training equipment, so black S button. So we're going to say no, black S button, come. As he's coming to us still, even though he made a mistake and he didn't come to us on the first call, we're still going to praise him as he's coming to us. And whenever he gets to us, we're still going to reward, because we never want to correct him out there and then correct him when he gets to us, because we're always going to be the positive zone. So he's always going to get rewarded for coming to us. Now we have leave it. Leave it means just don't grab that. So practice with dog safe foods to start out. So drop something on the ground, say leave it. If he does, great. If not, we're going to follow through with our training equipment. Whenever you first practice this, I suggest having a leash on him so that way you can guide him into a different scenario if he decides not to listen. So we'll drop it on the ground, say leave it, and then follow through if he decides not to. So that is all of Copper's commands and his training equipment. So now you're going to watch him do all of his commands. So have fun and stay consistent. Down. Good boy. Good. Down. Down. Good. Down. Good. Down. Good. Down. Down. Good. Down. Good. Down, Copper. Free. Good boy. All right, let's dive into the other feature of the remote. So now that we already know how to turn it on, let's go over how to turn it off. Red dot on the collar, red dot on the remote. Touch these together. That's going to turn off the collar. On and off button on the back of the remote. We're going to push and hold until the screen goes blank. Now let's go over the other buttons on the remote. So we've already gone over the black S button. That's going to be the level 25 that you see on the screen. The red S button is a boost feature. So this is for whenever Copper is doing something dangerous that is going to cause him harm, such as running out into the street. So whenever he is in that high adrenaline state of mind, level 25 reaches about here. His adrenaline is going to be about here. So this red S button, it has a way to match it whenever he's doing something dangerous that's going to cause him harm. So we have a way to communicate with him whenever he is in that state of mind. So if I click the red S button, it's going to jump his level from 25 to 45. So that way we have a way to communicate with him in those dangerous situations. On the other side of the remote, there is a T. T just stands for vibrate. We use this to make sure that the collar is on and working. You can also use it whenever he is further into his training and he understands the boundaries, and we just kind of need a little bit of a reminder. We can vibrate him to let him know whatever he's doing, we don't want to see that. On the back, there's an M/C button. This stands for momentary and continuous. At the beginning of Copper's training, we started at a very low level on continuous to introduce the collar in a positive way. And then when it gets further into the training, we switch over to momentary at a little bit of a higher level. And then the on and off button also works as a flashlight. So if we click it once, it's going to be a flashing light. If we click it twice, it's going to be a steady light. If we click it that third time, it's going to turn the flashlight off. So the level on the screen right here is 25. Say you're noticing him having a big reaction to it, or you notice that it's not really working for him, we can change this number. We're just going to push down on the dial until the 1D starts flashing, and then we can rotate it to whatever number we want. But level 25 seems to be working for him, so how we lock level 25 into place is we're just going to hold the dial down, and now it is locked. So that way if we put this remote in our pocket and we twist it or anything, his level is not going to change, so we don't have to worry about accidentally moving the level while it's in our pocket. Both of these are rechargeable. There's a charging port on the back of the remote, and then right next to the prongs is the other charging port for the collar. It does come with a charger, so you can charge them at the same time. It's a dual charger. Here is the charger. And then it does stay charged for about 2 days if you leave it on for about 12 to 14-hour days. So if you charge it every other day, you should have no problems with it. Then it does come with longer prongs. So if you notice that the shorter prongs aren't making good contact, he does have somewhat of longer hair. If you notice it's not making good contact, you can switch him over. Comes with a tool, you just unscrew them and then put the longer prongs on. Then at the bottom of the box is the manual. So if there's any questions about the remote that you have, you can go through the manual and figure it out. Then the collar is also waterproof, so if it does get wet, it's not a big deal. But if Copper is going to stay wet for an extended period of time, I would rotate the collar every now and then so it's not irritating one part of his neck, because when his neck is wet, it's going to rub a little bit more, and you don't want to irritate that one part of his neck too much. It does have a 2-year warranty. This is the company, so if you have any problems with it, you can get in contact with them and they can hopefully figure out your issue or get you another collar. So that is all of the other features of the remote. So have fun and stay consistent.